Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. I have an interesting guest in studio today. It's Sherri Kiley. She's the owner and she's also a registered nurse of Ideal Weight Clinic. Tell me a little bit about the Ideal Weight Clinic. We all struggle with our weight.
Well, Ideal Weight Clinic is a medically supervised weight loss clinic that offers the Ideal Protein Protocol. We focus on not only weight loss, but have a great emphasis on the weight maintenance as well.
Now this is very personal to you.
It is, yes. In 2015, after a visit to the doctor, I was told that I had high cholesterol and was at risk for being diabetic. After 20 years in the health and wellness industry, I was probably half of those were spent being overweight, and I realized that I definitely needed to do something in order to get myself healthy. So I was introduced to the Ideal Protein Protocol and lost 60 pounds.
Wow, that's terrific. You look terrific.
Thank you.
Tell me why you wanted to take your journey and make this available for everybody else.
Well, there's so many risk factors that lie in being overweight. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, sleep apnea. So through my journey, I really found relief in things like my joint pain being lessened, and so I wanted to share the success with other people.
So with the Ideal Weight Clinic, how does that work? Somebody comes in for a consultation. Do they need to be so much overweight, or is it anybody who really wants to understand how this all works?
I always say that whether you need to be bikini ready or you have a significant amount of weight, we want to help you. And even if you're just looking at having trouble to keep those 5 pounds off, we have weight management solutions as well.
So you talked about the Ideal Protein method. Tell me a little bit about what that is.
So we are a 4-phase protocol, phase 1 being primarily the weight loss phase. Phase 2 and 3 are our stabilization phase, and phase 4 is our maintenance phase. What we really want to do in that first phase is when people have an excess amount of carbohydrates and refined sugars, they have an excess of insulin production. So we want to give our pancreas a rest, and that's what we're doing in phase 1. To provide for optimal fat burning and sparing our lean mass.
That's excellent. Excellent. Now you brought a very impressive demonstration to a hill. This is 5 pounds of fat. So
it is.
I think we don't understand how much this is on our body, because even to lift it seems tremendous. So this is phase 1. So you're working this is getting our body ready in phase 1 to get rid of this in 2 and 3.
In phase 1, we're burning the fat.
Okay.
And then in phase 2 and 3 is when we start waking that pancreas back up.
Okay.
And then in phase 4, you're back to lifestyle living. Now, we don't cut you loose and say good luck. After that, we want you to stay with us for the next 12 months so we can really learn how your body is going to process the new foods that you've introduced to it.
And I see that you've brought us also a bunch of products, and you offer us a lot of ways to take care of ourselves during this period. You don't just say go grocery shopping. You have a lot of products that will help us.
We do. So Ideal Protein is a completely customizable program.
Yeah.
We do have 80 different products that vary from chips, soups, drink mixes, ready-made solutions. We have no stimulants. You would supplement with your own lean meats and vegetables as well.
That's great, because I think it's so important to have a combination of that kind of stuff, that we need to understand how protein works for a diet.
Yes.
Yes, and that seems to be the key in this. What do you think people don't understand about their diet when they first come into you?
Well, I think they don't understand that the appropriate amount of protein, carbohydrates, and fats is what we're trying to structure their diet around.
And I think because it's a personal journey to you, somebody coming in and who's struggling and may have a comfort related to food, so they may have eaten a bag of chips the night before, you can completely relate to that and tell them that's okay, here's what we need to go from there.
Absolutely. My journey, I think, has allowed me to have a different perspective and provide our dieters with a lot of tips and tricks to help them navigate to their goals.
Well, in the registered nurse background, you can work with people that might have a medical condition?
Yes. So I help. I work closely with their physicians as well with continued updates, because when somebody is going through a weight loss process, their medications, if they're on blood pressure medications, diabetic medications, even thyroid medications, those may need to be altered based on their weight loss.
With any luck, you're going to help get them off that medication.
We have seen a lot of our dieters who have been on medications either have their medications decreased or completely discontinued.
That's super. And you have a team behind you as well.
Yes, we have a panel of medical doctors and pharmacists that for anything that's outside of my scope of practice, I can deflect to them and they can help me.
So when somebody comes in, you give them a body mass test. Tell me a little bit about what that tells you and what that test is.
We do. So we focus really not only on what the number on the scale is, or even the BMI. While the BMI is a great indicator of health, it just focuses on your weight. It's a height to weight ratio. So we really focus on somebody's lean mass, their fat mass, as well as their hydration. Their fat mass being the most important of those three things, because the fat mass is where all those risk factors lie. So we really want to see our dieters get their fat mass below 30%.
That's great. Well, and I think that kind of knowledge is super important. So, because we don't want to carry around our 5-pound nugget of fat. Tell me a little bit. Now, you've got a couple programs that you are working with our first responders and our corporate citizens here in town. So tell me a little bit about those programs.
We are. So our Healthy Badge initiative is helping our first responders who are at significant risk for all of those conditions that I mentioned earlier, the high blood pressure, diabetes, and a lot of that has to do with the hurry up and wait that they have to do, but also the shift work. Right. They're not getting the appropriate amount of rest that they need for optimal wellness. So we are looking at helping them at a significantly reduced cost, as well as we offer a donation to the Brotherhood of the Fallen in their name.
That's an awesome thing. Now, you also have a wellness program for corporations?
We do.
Great.
So that is just introducing corporate wellness to a corporation, obviously,
right,
and providing their employees with a method to learn how to lose weight. And how does that help the corporation itself? They can save money, less sick days, better rates on health insurance, and
generally happier, healthier people.
Happier, healthier work environment.
Right. Sherri, tell me a couple of your success stories.
We have so many success stories that I'm proud of that it'd be hard to narrow in on just a few, but I'll try. Okay. We've had some people go off the CPAP machines, which is really exciting for them. We've also had one dieter go off $1,000 worth of medications within about a month of being on the program. But my favorite is a husband and wife team that lost combined over 150 pounds. He was a former police officer who was injured in an accident, and I just feel very blessed that we were able to help him get off of his blood pressure medications and lose 100 pounds.
That's terrific. Those are great stories.
Thank you.
Now, you have a special offer for our viewers today, too?
We do. I would love for everyone to come on in, give us a call, and get their body composition analyzed and see where they stand and if there's anything that we can do to help them out.
That's very generous, and that's a great place to start for anybody. Somebody may be thin and carrying too much fat and not realize it. So, or somebody can just need a little extra help from a very kind and compassionate soul that you are, Sherri. So I appreciate you coming in and telling us all about what you're doing. We wish you continued success.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Business Connections. Stay tuned.